Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today's topic is protein and fats. I am Dr. SABIRA DKHAR, Demonstrator, Department of Community Medicine, GMC, Srinagar. Before we go into our presentation, let's have a look at this video. Proteins. The word protein by derivation means that which is of first importance, that is the prime importance. Indeed, they are of greatest importance in human nutrition. Proteins are complex organic nitrogenous compounds. They are composed of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur in varying amounts. Some proteins also contain phosphorus and iron, and occasionally other elements. Proteins differ from carbohydrates and fats in that they contain nitrogen. This usually amounts to about 16%. Protein constitutes about 20% of the body weight in an adult. Each molecule is made up of a large number of units called amino acids which are linked by peptide chains. There are around 22 amino acids. Classification of amino acids. Out of the 22 amino acids which are stated to be needed by the human body, 8 are called essential because the body cannot synthesize them in amounts corresponding to its needs, and therefore they must be obtained from dietary protein. They are leucine, isoleucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, valine, tryptophan, and histidine. Evidence is now accumulating that histidine is essential even for adults. Non-essential amino acids. They include arginine, asparagine acids, serine, glutamic acid, proline, and glycine. Both essential and non-essential amino acids are needed for synthesis of tissue protein. The former must be supplied through diet. whereas the latter can be synthesized by the body provided other building blocks are present. Classification of protein. Protein can be classified as complete or incomplete. A protein is said to be biologically complete if it contains all the essential amino acids in amounts which is corresponding to the human needs. When one or more of the essential amino acids are lacking, the protein is said to be biologically incomplete. The quality of the dietary protein is closely related to its pattern of amino acids. From the nutritional standpoint, animal proteins are related superior to vegetable proteins because they are biologically complete. For example, milk and egg proteins have a protein of amino acids considered most suitable for humans. Exception to this case is gelatin, which is obtained from animal source and has low biological value, while yeast and soya bean, which is derived from vegetable source, have a high biological value. Supplementary action of protein. Man derives protein not from a single source but from a variety of food sources, be it animal or vegetable. Cereal protein are deficient in lysine and threonine, and pulse protein in methionine. These are known as limiting amino acids. When two or more vegetarian food are eaten together, for an example rice and dal combination, their protein supplements one another and provide a protein which is comparable to animal protein. Thus, with proper planning, it is possible for a vegetarian to obtain a high-grade protein at a low cost, and from a mixed diet of cereal, pulses, and vegetables. This is known as the supplementary action of protein and is the basis for counseling of people to eat mixed diets. Functions of protein. Proteins are needed by the body for the bodybuilding. This component is small as compared to the maintenance component, except in very young child and infant. It's also used for repair and maintenance of body tissue, maintenance of osmotic pressure, synthesis of certain substances like antibodies, plasma protein, hemoglobin, enzymes, hormones, and coagulation factors. Proteins are connected with the immune system of the body. The cell-mediated immune response and the bactericidal activity of leukocytes have been found to be lowered in severe forms of protein energy malnutrition. Proteins can also supply energy, 4 kilocalorie per 1 gram, when the calorie intake is inadequate. But this is not their primary function. It is considered wasteful if proteins were used for such a purpose. Proteins are useful for structural and mechanical integrity of the body, helps in formation of enzymes, hormones, and antibodies. They maintain the osmotic pressure and the acid-base balance. They are also useful in transport and channels and pumps of the bodies. Daily requirement. Proteins cannot be stored in the body, and their daily requirement becomes essential. Adults require 1 gram per kg body weight of protein every day. There is seen an increased intake of protein in special conditions like pregnancy, lactation, infectious disease, any kind of infestations, recovery from disease, for growing children, and during stress. Sources of protein. There are primarily two sources, animal source and plant source. The animal source consists of fish, egg, meat, chicken, and plant sources include soya bean, legumes, nuts, lentils, soy milk, etc. Evaluation of protein. Parameters used for evaluating protein are digestibility coefficient, biological value, net protein utilization, amino acid score, protein efficiency ratio, and protein energy ratio. Digestibility coefficient is the percentage of ingested protein that is absorbed by the blood, that is ingested nitrogen minus the fecal excreta nitrogen. The biological value is the percentage of nitrogen which is retained out of the nitrogen absorbed from the diet. Net protein utilization is the proportion of ingested proteins or nitrogen that is retained in the body. Amino acid score is the measure of the concentration of each essential amino acids in the test protein expressed as a percentage of that amino acid in the reference protein. Protein efficiency ratio is the weight gain in a young growing animal per unit weight of the protein consumed. Protein energy ratio, it is the percentage of the energy value obtained from the protein content of the food. Fats. They are the components of glycerol with fatty acids. Fatty acids are composed of carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. Fats are solid at 20 degrees Celsius. They are called oils if they are liquid at that temperature. Both fats and oils are concentrated source of energy. Classification of lipids. Lipids are classified into simple, compound, and derived lipids. Simple lipids consist of fats and oils and waxes. Compound lipids consist of phospholipids, glycolipids, and sulfolipids. Derived lipids consist of alcohol, fatty acids, sterols, and isoprenoids. Examples of simple lipids are triglycerides, compound lipids, phospholipids, derived lipids are cholesterol. Grouping of fatty acids. Fatty acids are divided into saturated fatty acids such as lauric, palmitic, and stearic acid, and unsaturated fatty acids. Saturated fatty acids are primarily from animal source and are also synthesized by body during catabolism of protein and carbohydrate. Unsaturated fatty acids are primarily derived from plant source. They are further divided into monounsaturated fatty acids and polyunsaturated fatty acids. Monounsaturated fatty acids are also known as MUFA, example oleic acid. Polyunsaturated fatty acids are known as PUFA, example linolenic and alpha-linolenic acid. Functions of fats. Fats have always been equated with calories. They are high-energy foods which provide as much as 9 kilocalories for every gram. By supplying energy, fat spares the proteins from being used for energy. They are the most concentrated source of energy, therefore serves as a main source of vitamins A, D, E, and K. They also act as a cushion to viscera. Subcutaneous fat gives insulation against cold, gives a smooth contour to the body, and are structural unit of some tissues like nervous tissues. As said, they are protein sparers and they increase the palatability, taste, and flavor of food. Essential fatty acids. Essential fatty acids are those that cannot be synthesized by humans. They can be derived only from food. The most important essential fatty acid is linoleic acid. It serves as a basis for the production of other essential fatty acids like linolenic and arachidonic acids. Not all polyunsaturated fatty acids are essential fatty acids. Functions of essential fatty acids. They maintain the integrity of the skin. EPA and DHA reduces the serum cholesterol in the body. They maintain enzyme system, helps in the synthesis of prostaglandins. DHA serves as an important component for retina and cerebral cortex. Deficiencies of essential fatty acids can result in growth retardation, reproductive failure, skin disorders, increased susceptibility to infection, decreased myocardial contractibility, renal hypertension, hemolysis. Deficiencies of omega-6 fatty acids shows skin changes, whereas deficiencies of omega-3 fatty acids leads to visual and neurological symptoms. Sources of essential fatty acids are green leafy vegetables, nuts, legumes, yellow fruits and vegetables, and sunflower oils. Hydrogenation. When vegetable oils are hydrogenated under conditions of optimum temperature and pressure in the presence of a catalyst, the liquid oils are converted into a semi-solid state, or a solid fat. The resulting hydrogenated fat is known as vanaspati or vegetable ghee, which is a very popular cooking medium in India. During the process of hydrogenation, unsaturated fatty acids are converted into saturated acids, and the essential fatty acid content is drastically reduced. The main advantage of vanaspati is the ghee-like consistency and its keeping quality even in hot humid climates. Since vanaspati is lacking in fat-soluble vitamins, it is fortified with vitamin A and D by the government. Refined oils. Refining is usually done by treatment with steam, alkali, etc. Refining and deodorization of raw oil is done mainly to remove the free fatty acids and the rancid material which may be present in them. Refining does not bring about any change in the unsaturated fatty acid content of the oil. It only improves the quality and the taste of oil. Refined oils are therefore very costly. Some of the refined oils are fortified with vitamin A and D. Daily requirement. Around 20% of total energy requirement should be through fats, that is, 40 grams per day for adult man, 25 grams from visible fat and the remaining from invisible fat. Applied aspect. Fatty diet predisposes to obesity. Deficiencies of essential fatty acids leads to prinoderma, which is intense rough skin, which is cured by administration of sunflower oil, which is rich in essential fatty acids. Fat intake of more than 40% of the total energy with high proportion of saturated fatty acids is a major risk factor for coronary heart disease. HDL transports cholesterol from peripheral tissue to liver. This is a protective mechanism against coronary heart disease. LDL and VDRL are atherogenic and predisposes for development of coronary heart disease. Energy. Body needs energy for maintaining body temperature, metabolic activity, physical work, growth, basal metabolism, maintenance. The unit of energy is joule, that is, energy required to move 1 kg of mass by 1 meter. 1 kilocalorie is defined as the heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water by 1 degree Celsius, that is from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius. 1 kilocalorie is equal to 4.184 kilojoules. Assessment. Zobia, a 6-year-old child, is diagnosed with severe acute malnutrition. She was admitted in hospital and is back home. What kind of food will you suggest the mother of the child to give to help in the growth and development? Kindly write down in your notebooks. I hope the concept of proteins and fats have become more clearer to you with this presentation. Thank you.